Hey, everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here at the Hunter Hotel Investment Conference. I got these amazing people here: Kevin Morgan, Rick Colley, Hilton. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, Actable. Actable gives you the power to profit. Please check them out at actable.com. So, guys, for one of the coolest things in our business to me is the idea of the dual branded hotels, right? You guys have been focused on that, but what I love about it is that it gives hoteliers the opportunity to have one building, but several different ways in order to fill up those hotel rooms.
Indeed.
So I know you agree with me on this one.
Well, if you think in terms of Homewood Suites, Glenn, we've got a new prototype that we launched in 2021. 20% of our pipeline, which is the largest pipeline the brand's ever had, is attributed to dual bills for that exact reason. You've got this beautiful anchor brand with Homewood, and when you couple it with a brand like a Tempo, it just makes a magnificent experience for the guest.
Yeah, how do you see it?
I mean, if you look at it, it's not only for the actual owner and development, the customer itself actually benefits from having a dual brand hotel. If you look at Tempo Raleigh, which is behind us here, you got an asset where you've got the two brands that come together and they're benefiting from both Tempo and Homewood and the amenities that are available. We get to elevate the experience a little bit, and the brands sort of get to cross-pollinate what that experience is.
Yeah, that's really interesting because when this first started, this trend, there was a sharp delineation between it. It was almost like, no, you can't have that bagel. But now it's like everything's just kind of been linked together.
You want a great cup of coffee from Bluestone Lane, but you're staying at the Homewood, you come over to the Tempo. Yes, right? The fitness center experience is a little bit larger at Raleigh because of the brands are put together. So you're going to get a really, really great experience. And CN Hotels did a fantastic job with that hotel.
So obviously owners must be behind this.
Owners love it, yeah. I mean, we've got, I think, about 11 deals between Homewood and Tempo as it relates to dual bills. As I said, from Homewood's perspective, I mean, owners do love it. They can tie up two flags, the brands that perform extremely well. And when you anchor it with an extended stay brand like Homewood, which notoriously runs evergreen great performance, whether it be good times or bad, it's an anchor brand. I think Tempo Raleigh would be a great example of that, Kevin, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is Tempo's a new brand.
Right.
Hilton launches new brands organically. We build from the ground up. We take a customer base, we look at the market research, and we build a hotel that's based around that. But new brands always come with challenges, brand awareness being one of them.
Sure.
When you pair that with Homewood, you get a rising tide effect. We're almost drafting behind the Homewood brands, and it's ramping even quicker than the hotels are ramping today. So Raleigh's a great example of that.
Right, and for the newer people to our industry out there, it used to be that it would just be a standalone brand.
Yep.
Then companies like yours started adding by Hilton, and that kind of really helped us customers understand that it's in the same brand family and allowed the brands to get propelled a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think the transition was it went from linked to hybrid, to blended to hybrid. And now when you take a look at Raleigh, Tempo, Homewood, it's a hybrid, beautiful model. I mean, imagine this, Glenn. You check into the Homewood side of the facility. You get all the attributes of Homewood because we've never got away from the pillars that made the brand successful.
Yeah.
But then you coming down and enjoy the experience of the Tempo guest.
Yeah.
It really is a match made in heaven. From a Homewood's perspective, it's really
I'll
quite
say-
a nice deal, mate.
Nothing against your brands, but I've stayed at a true Home 2 combo outside Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So my kid goes to school over there, and I love that it's like these floors are this color, and then this side is the other color. So it creates a differentiation. So everything is blended, but you still get that understanding that there's two separate products that have been united together.
Indeed, yeah. It really is. It's been an absolute privilege. And if you think in terms of giving the platform to a brand like Tempo, when you hook it to a Homewood, just from a development standpoint, it's really elevated the performance of the brands, both brands, which for us is exceptional.
How does it work on the corporate side? We love it. For you get along, don't we?
Actually, it's interesting because it's almost like you learn from each other. So back in
2021, we engineered the Homewood. So we looked at the prototype. We said, how do we slim it down a little bit? We cut about 3,300 square feet out of the gross building.
Wow.
But we also added efficiency suites, which allowed us to take the key count from 121 to 131 with a reduced smaller building. It was a good equation. Tempo's done something really similar, right?
So just this past Friday, we launched out the Evolve prototype. We launch a new brand. You learn from it with the new open hotels. You learn from the customer, the owners, the developers. you take all that feedback to Cordigen. So on Friday, we launched out an evolved prototype where we reduced the square footage of the guest room by a little bit. So we took some guests through Nashville and we essentially said, okay, what are the key elements that are most important to you? We looked at the developers of the pipeline and said, okay, what are the things that are important to you? And we married that with the research that we have, and we've reduced 12,000 square feet out of the building. 12,000 square feet out of the building.
Massive amount. It's things that you don't have to build.
20% reduction in the guest room, 13% of the building overall has been reduced. You're talking meaningful dollars that have been removed. But that's based on looking at other brands and how did they handle things. So Homewood did this, a couple years ago. Yeah. We looked at it and said, okay, from a key count perspective and area room perspective, we're at that point, we're 5 years. We got to make some changes because we're 5 years old.
Right, and every single brand goes through this. Every single major casino resort goes through this. You design something, but then the customers tell you how they want to utilize it and experience the product. No matter how much you know, there's always going to be a certain amount that you have to change.
It's art and science.
Right, it is.
You can have so much science of guest research and marketing materials and all that stuff, and they can tell you what to do. And then when it comes to life, it's a different story because it's like, well, maybe we needed to do this just a little bit differently.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I see that with the major Las Vegas resorts. They do this thing, and then they have to dump tens of millions of dollars into it within 6 months to reinvent stuff.
Absolutely. Share this with both of you. I had the pleasure this week, Glenn, of joining a team of owners up at the Buford Homewood Suites, which just opened. We've got 3 10.0 prototypes that just opened. And I got to experience from drawing board in 2021 to physically opening a product in 2025. To come on down and walk into the lobby and sit with guests to say, hey, how is the experience of the new Homewood prototype? It was an exceptional week for me, Glenn. It was one of those very humbling, beautiful moments where you got to experience what was conceptually designed in COVID and then came to real life in 20.
That's pretty amazing.
As a brand leader, it's beautiful.
It's actually interesting. When you look at Homewood and Tempo side by side, it's almost like they're brother and sisters. Right? The design themselves marry together so well, except for the elements and the attributes of what is offered complement extended stay versus what we have as traditional stays. Right? So now when you put these two brands together, all of a sudden you're marrying attributes, and it's like from an owner side of things, you get a little bit of the rising tide effect where like rates are a little bit better because you got sort of that balance. So it's working out really well.
I love it. Am I missing anything?
Other than the fact, have you been to Raleigh?
No.
We need to get you to downtown Raleigh. The picture behind is the lobby. It's an absolutely exquisite building, performing exceptionally well. The ramp-up's been absolutely terrific. So we need to get you there, and we could do the next show live from Raleigh.
We do, and we got one more thing. We got to congratulate Glenn for
your recognition. You're a humble dude, Glenn, but you always get recognized as being very influential in the business. And congratulations.
It was a top 10 most influential by lead act.
Well, he's grumbled. He used to be number 1. I think he's number 3 now, so he grumbled.
Well, it's my own damn fault. You think as a number 1 influencer, I would have tried to do some more influencing to that position. When I'm on the road too much working, bringing you the news.
It's Glenn.
Glenn. Rankings don't matter. All that matters is we all get along. Thank you so much for watching. Look at these guys over here. We'll see you later. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, like, subscribe, share this video, all that stuff. Bye.